Hello, I'm Noel. This is Antonia from Boxtail Soup Theatre Company. And this week we've been rehearsing our Grimm Tales shows. We'd actually originally kind of scheduled the family show, Little Grimm Tales, to be rehearsed this week and thought that next week we would be focusing mostly on Great Grimm Tales. But in fact, we've made good progress this week. We've done really well. Little Grimm Tales has gone fantastically. So we're kind of happy with where that is. Oh my God. It's too early actually to speak properly. We're recording this before we start rehearsals. And we've managed to move on to Great Grimm Tales as well. So you can see behind us here that where we had the colourful Little Grimm Tales trees up last time, this week we've got the Great Grimm Tales, which are a bit more sombre.
They're missing the tops because, as with a few of our sets, the height of our studio prevents us from being able to put the tops on the trees safely. So in fact, the white tree at the back, it doesn't fit at all, does it?
No.
I remember when we first built the Great Grimm set and the first performances were going to be in Edinburgh in 2019. And in fact, we actually hadn't been able to put together, we hadn't seen the whole set up until we got there. And when we first put it up, we were thrilled, weren't we? It was really nice, actually.
Yeah. In fact, I might stick a picture of the set there up so you get a sense of what the whole thing looks like. But it's been really good, hasn't it? It's been a really good week. We are working with a new performer for us. So someone that we auditioned and we just started working with them this last week. So Alejandra has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, amazing.
In fact, her ability to pick it all up and remember what's going on, remember where she needs to be, what she's doing is just incredible. Absolutely.
I think Noel's slightly worried she's going to show us up.
I'm 100% worried that I'm going to be at the bottom of the pile in terms of, I don't need another one who can remember like everything that's going on.
But yes, consequently, we have been able to move quite quickly forward with Little Grimm. We'll do another run of that show. In fact, in a minute, we'll reset and then we're going to head back to Great Grimm Tales. But we thought, because we'd never actually shown you anything for Great Grimm, because obviously we started the vlogs post those shows being created, we thought we would show you a couple of things from the show. In fact, I think Great Grimm Tales, it's got one of the least amount of puppets, I think, of all of our shows. Casting the Runes has the least, having only one
Just
puppet.
one puppet, yeah.
But this one has only a handful, and we thought we would show you some of them. So first, I think we'll just show you very quickly the Gravedigger. So he's a little bit like our kind of narrator. I'll have to bring him down like this, otherwise he's going to come out of shot, isn't he? Is that about right?
I think so, yeah.
So he's the sort of narrator almost of the piece in a way. I mean, he has quite an interesting role to play, doesn't he? He's almost like a sort of fortune teller at the beginning. He kind of, in a Shakespearean sort of way, tells you what's going to happen in the show, and then at the end says, and there you go. That's
He presents us with, you know, in much the way you have those characters in fairy tale who are a kind of an omniscient narrator, or who seem to have some power beyond the scope of the story itself. He kind of turns up, he does our prologue and he does your epilogue, and then he pops up in each story to sort of nudge things in the right direction.
Yeah. So he is built, in fact, he was the inspiration for how we then built the Christmas Carol puppets. We were so pleased with how he worked that we used the same idea. So he's got the shoulders the same as the Christmas Carol puppets.
Yep.
His arms then dangle off on ribbon. His head is on ribbon onto the back of his head here, and was built around a pizza box frame. And he was one of the first puppets that we did these sort of heavy eyelids for, and it just gives him this brilliant stare. So that's the Gravedigger puppet. We might have some footage of him from the show, either in rehearsal or something, that we might be able to put up.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. And then,
I'm just going to grab one of the cats here.
Oh, he also has a shovel that he can pick up, which is quite cool.
Yes, which is why he's got a specially shaped hand, so that he can operate his shovel. We may have shown the cats on.
I think we did on the video, the vlog about the music videos, because we borrowed our cats for one of the Voca music videos.
Thanks. I haven't got my hand free.
No, you haven't.
There
you
go. That's better.
So these cats turn up in the Great Grimm Tales is obviously a compilation of Grimm's stories, there is one tale that wraps around the whole thing, and then it would go into 3 other different tales. The cats are from the last tale, and they sing, actually, don't they? They sort of sing a silly, there's a repetitive song, and they sing part of that at some point. So those are the cats. And then one of the things that we use in Great Grimm, which, as with all of our shows, we try to multi-use things, don't we?
Yes. But it was particularly important in this case because the difference with this show is that we were, instead of it being a single story, a single narrative all the way through, obviously it's plucking various fairy tales and trying to make them into a kind of cohesive piece that makes sense as a whole. Because you could have just done it as a almost a magazine show where you just have 3 completely separate stories, but we wanted there to be some kind of through line. So although there are 3 distinct stories within the show, there is also a 4th story which is also based on a
which is what I just said, the wraparound story
that contains it all. I beg your pardon.
That's all right.
And because you have a similar antagonist, you have this devil character who pops up in different forms throughout all the stories. We wanted to have, as well as reusing the idea of being able to reuse the props and stuff, we wanted to have something that kind of transformed to connect that character together.
Yes, to connect the appearance, as you say, of the devil.
Yeah.
So we have this 2-piece thing here, and it connects in different ways. So the first appearance of it is when it connects centrally like that. Am I holding that in a sort of...
Yeah, I should think so.
Back a bit.
You might need to, just so there's not too much shadow on you.
Yeah. So the first appearance is this sort of lion-y beast thing where it does a roar.
Yeah.
And then the next appearance for it, in fact, we can't really show you so well because we haven't got the bits, but it sits as pauldrons, effectively.
Yeah, there's a little shoulder piece that it magnets onto, and it sits like that as shoulder pads.
And then the final appearance is as a mask, which goes like that, and that's a beast character for the final story. And the nice thing about that is that as the beast gets drunker, it's sort of, the mask breaks apart.
Yeah. So that's our beast / lion / pauldrons.
We have one more puppet in the show, which is the princess, which you can probably put a photograph of her up, actually.
Yeah, sure.
She's just a head and an arm, because she appears for all of about 3 lines in the first story and is still under a kind of enchantment. So we wanted her to look a little, not quite as fully formed as.
And it's actually really effective. Considering that, I think it's even more effective than we hoped it would be. The way that you mentally fill in the gaps when you've just got a head and an arm, it has a kind of ethereal quality because of the nature of the story. And I also think that the clever stuff that you've done with the use of the bit of fabric on her that also ties in with the fabric that we're wearing for the tail also slightly fills out the gaps.
Yes, your imagination, it's easier, isn't it, for the imagination to fill the gaps. So so it's only, like I said, only a few really for that one. And I suppose at some point we should show you the little Grimm puppets. I don't know whether we've ever done that. We'd have to go back and check.
Well, I'm sure we'll have plenty of chance to do that because we'll be, touring that show for a good few weeks now.
Exactly. So we're back to Little Grimm Run in a minute. We'll reset, and then back to Great Grimm Rehearsals, and then Great Grimm all of next week. So we'll let you know how that's all going next week. But in the meantime, if you are enjoying the vlogs, please do like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Welcome to everyone who's subscribed recently, and we will see you again next time.